What if I told you that something sitting quietly in your kitchen right now could start repairing your eyes before tomorrow morning? Not next month. Not after expensive treatments. Tonight. While you sleep. Picture this. You go to bed as usual, maybe after watching your favorite TV show or reading a chapter of a good book. You turn off the light, close your eyes, and drift into a deep, peaceful sleep. And while you're resting, your eyes are working quietly in the background. Mending, rebuilding, protecting themselves for the next day. And all because of one simple thing you ate for dinner. Now, I know what you might be thinking, really? Just food? Yes. But not just any food. I'm talking about certain vegetables, ordinary ones you've probably eaten before, but when they're cooked the right way, they turn into little repair kits for your eyes. They feed your vision exactly what it needs to fight off the strain, the glare, and that slow, frustrating blur that creeps in as we age. And let's be honest, nobody warns us about how much vision changes can steal from our lives. It's not just about glasses or eye drops. It's the way night driving feels more dangerous, the way the words in a favorite book seem to fade, or how a grandchild's face doesn't look quite as sharp as it used to. These changes can sneak in so slowly, you don't even notice, until one day, you do. But here's the good news, science has found that certain cooked vegetables can deliver powerful nutrients directly to your eyes, giving them the support they need to repair themselves overnight. This isn't a magic trick. It's nature doing what it's always done, if you give it the right tools. So in this video, I'm going to share 5 powerful cooked veggies that can help nourish your eyes while you sleep. And I'm also going to tell you about one big cooking mistake that might be quietly destroying the very nutrients your eyes are desperate for. If you believe that food can be powerful medicine, I want you to type "I'm here" in the comments right now. And don't forget to subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Tips, because here, we believe that getting older doesn't have to mean giving up on living well. Let's start with the one we've all heard about since childhood, carrots. You've probably been told at some point, eat your carrots, they'll help you see in the dark. And you might have rolled your eyes at it, thinking it was just something parents said to get you to finish your vegetables. But here's the thing, there's truth to it. I have a neighbor, Ruth, in her late 70s. Lovely woman, sharp as a tack, but she used to avoid driving at night. She said the glare from headlights felt like knives in her eyes. One day, after reading about eye health, she started adding a small serving of steamed carrots to her dinner almost every night. Nothing fancy, just a handful of carrot slices, gently steamed until tender. Months later, she told me something had changed. She still wore her glasses, but she felt more confident on the road after dark. She didn't have to squint as much. She wasn't gripping the steering wheel in fear. That simple addition, just carrots, had made a difference. Why? Because carrots are rich in beta-carotene, that beautiful orange pigment your body turns into vitamin A. And vitamin A is like a guardian for your eyes, it's what helps you see in low light, and it keeps your eyes from drying out. Without enough of it, your vision can suffer, especially at night. Now, here's where a lot of people get it wrong, they eat carrots raw, thinking that's the healthiest way. And while raw carrots are good, steaming them actually unlocks more of that beta-carotene. The gentle heat softens the plant's fibers, making it easier for your body to absorb the goodness. And if you really want to help your body soak it all in, drizzle them with a little olive oil after cooking. Beta-carotene is fat-soluble, which means it needs a bit of healthy fat to do its job properly. So tonight, when you're making dinner, think about those carrots in the fridge. Slice them up, steam them for about 5 to 7 minutes, just until they're tender and bright orange. And give them that light olive oil finish. Your eyes will thank you, even if you don't notice it right away. But carrots aren't the only orange hero out there. The next vegetable works deep inside your retina, protecting it from something most of us never even think about. If carrots are the classic orange hero, sweet potatoes are their rich, golden cousin, full of even more to give. A few months back, I got an email from a viewer named Linda. She's 72, lives in a small town, and she told me she'd been struggling with eye strain for years. Her optometrist had been keeping an eye, no pun intended, on her retinal health, and during her last checkup, he said something interesting: "Your eyes are looking healthier than before." Linda was surprised. She hadn't started any new supplements, no expensive treatments. The only real change she had made? About 3 nights a week, she'd bake a sweet potato for dinner. No sugar, no marshmallows, just baked until tender, then a pinch of cinnamon on top. Sweet potatoes are a powerhouse for your eyes. Just like carrots, they're high in beta-carotene, but they also have a wealth of antioxidants, those tiny protectors that reduce oxidative stress on your eye cells. Oxidative stress is like slow rust for your vision, it wears things down over time. Antioxidants help fight that process, giving your eyes a chance to stay strong. Here's where people get it wrong. They see potato and think too much starch. But sweet potatoes are different. The fiber in them slows down the way sugar enters your bloodstream, so you don't get those sharp spikes and crashes. For most people, especially when eaten as part of a balanced meal, sweet potatoes are a gentle, nourishing food. And cooking them right makes a difference. Baking keeps their nutrients intact and brings out that natural sweetness. Once they're soft, you can mash them with a sprinkle of cinnamon. That spice isn't just for flavor, it also brings its own tiny health benefits. So, if you're looking for a dinner side that feels comforting but still works hard for your health, sweet potatoes are worth a place on your plate. From orange to green, let's talk about a vegetable your grandparents probably grew in the backyard, one that's quietly protecting your eyes in ways most people never realize. When my uncle turned 80, his doctor gave him a piece of advice that stuck with him. He said, "Eat more greens, for your eyes." My uncle had always been a meat and potatoes kind of man, but he took that advice to heart. Spinach became a regular guest at his dinner table, sometimes sautéed, sometimes tucked into an omelette, sometimes just a warm side dish next to grilled fish. A few months later, I visited him. He was sitting in his favorite chair, flipping through a paperback novel. And he told me something that made me smile. "You know," he said, "I'm reading without straining like I used to. The words just feel clearer." Now, was it all down to spinach? Maybe not entirely. But when you understand what's in this leafy green, you see why it might have helped. Spinach is packed with 2 incredible nutrients, lutein and zeaxanthin. These aren't just fancy words, they're actually found right inside your retina, the part of your eye that captures the images you see. Their job? To filter out harmful blue light. The same light that comes from the sun, and yes, from the screens we use every day. Without enough of these nutrients, your retina can get stressed and damaged over time. Here's the thing, most people toss spinach into salads thinking they're doing the best thing possible. Raw spinach is healthy, of course, but lightly cooking it, just enough to soften the leaves, actually helps release more lutein, making it easier for your body to absorb. And it's so simple to do. Put a pan on low heat, add a small splash of olive oil, toss in fresh spinach, and maybe a little garlic for flavor. Cook it just until it wilts and turns a deep, vibrant green. In less than 3 minutes, you've got a dish that's delicious and working quietly to protect your vision. Speaking of greens, the next one might surprise you. It's often overlooked, yet it's a true powerhouse for your eyes. When I was a child, broccoli was the one vegetable everyone tried to avoid. We'd push it to the edge of the plate, hide it under mashed potatoes, anything to get away from that strong taste. But now? It's the vegetable I never skip. Somewhere along the way, I learned what this little green tree can actually do for you, especially for your eyes. Broccoli is a triple threat. First, it's rich in vitamin C, which helps keep the tiny blood vessels in your eyes healthy. Then it brings lutein, that same powerful nutrient we talked about in spinach, protecting your retina from strain. And it's also got sulforaphane, a compound that acts like a shield against oxidative damage, kind of like rust protection for the delicate tissues in your eyes. The problem is, most people unknowingly destroy these benefits by cooking it the wrong way. They drop it in boiling water and leave it there until it's limp, pale, and lifeless. By the time it hits the plate, half the goodness has gone down the drain, literally, into the water. The better way? Gentle steaming. It keeps the nutrients locked in and the color a deep, vibrant green. You only need a few minutes, just until the florets are tender but still have a little bite. Then a light seasoning, maybe a sprinkle of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon, brings out the flavor without drowning it in heavy sauces. It's simple, it's quick, and it's one of the easiest ways to give your eyes the nutrition they quietly crave. And finally, our fifth vegetable, beautiful, bright, and surprisingly good for your eyes. One of my viewers, Mary, she's 68, wrote to me a few months ago. She told me she'd started adding roasted red bell peppers to her dinners. Nothing complicated, just slicing them up, tossing them in the oven for a few minutes, and adding them alongside her chicken or fish. After a few weeks, she noticed something surprising. Her eyes didn't feel as tired in the evenings. She wasn't rubbing them as much, and reading before bed felt easier. Red bell peppers are a treasure for your vision. They have the highest vitamin C content of any vegetable, more than oranges, believe it or not. Vitamin C helps strengthen the tiny blood vessels that keep your eyes nourished, and it protects them from damage caused by everyday stress. On top of that, red peppers bring beta-carotene to the table, which your body turns into vitamin A for repairing and protecting your retina. Now, a lot of people stick to eating them raw, and that's perfectly fine, they're delicious that way. But here's a little secret, roasting them lightly can actually make some antioxidants more available for your body to use. The heat helps break down the cell walls, releasing more of those protective compounds. If you try this, roast them just until they're tender, not charred. Then drizzle with a little olive oil, not just for flavor but to help your body absorb those fat-soluble nutrients. It's a simple, colorful side dish that feels like a treat, but works like quiet medicine for your eyes. Now, knowing these vegetables is one thing, but cooking them the right way, that's the secret to actually getting their benefits while you sleep. Losing vision can feel like losing independence. It's not just about what you can or can't see, it's about what you can or can't do. Driving at night without fear. Reading a book without straining. Seeing your grandchild smile clearly across the room. When those things start to fade, it can feel like pieces of your life are quietly slipping away. But here's the truth, sometimes it's not about grand, expensive solutions. Sometimes it's about small, simple habits you can do every single day. Something as ordinary as adding these vegetables to your dinner can make a difference, supporting your eyesight, giving your body the tools it needs, and doing it without relying only on pills, drops, or surgeries. So instead of fearing vision decline, think of every meal as a quiet investment in your future. Each time you steam those carrots, bake that sweet potato, sauté spinach, or roast peppers, you're putting a deposit into the health of your eyes. An investment that might pay off in ways you can see and feel. Here's my challenge for you, tonight, choose just one of these vegetables and prepare it the right way. Give it a few weeks. Pay attention to how your eyes feel, especially at the end of the day. You might be surprised at the difference such a small choice can make. Because your body still wants to heal. Even now. Sometimes, it just needs the right ingredients, given in the right way, to remind it how. So, let's bring it all together. Carrots, sweet potatoes, spinach, broccoli, and red bell peppers, 5 simple, delicious vegetables that can be your nighttime eye repair allies. They don't just fill your plate, they quietly work while you sleep, giving your eyes the nutrients they need to stay strong. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which one of these will you cook tonight? Or maybe you have another favorite vegetable you believe belongs on this list. Let's talk about it down in the comments. Your ideas might inspire someone else to try something new. If you enjoyed this and want more easy, practical tips to keep you healthy, strong, and independent, subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Tips. We're here to remind you that getting older doesn't mean giving up on living well, it means finding the little choices that make a big difference. Thank you for spending this time with me, my friends. Stay strong. Stay informed. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.